Hello, welcome back to another episode of Disco Elysium. I'm World Undone. We have made it to the closed off part of the map because it's the third day right now. Something I just noticed in the bottom right here, we have little icons showing what we have equipped right now. So we've talked to Lillian. We are trying to seduce her for some reason. Maybe because our ex-wife thing just really isn't panning out. And once we find a cool spot... What's this? A little black swallow circles above you. You hear it chirrup. Cool. Yeah, what's going on over here? Anyway, once we find a cool spot on the beach, we can come back to her and try to seduce her. Once Kim is asleep. The rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. Oh, what are you? Nope, come back. Rust-eaten letters read Mazut. Relax, it's not yours. You didn't crash every MC in Revachol. Hopefully. Anyway, so we're mostly exploring the new island right now. The water runs from the west. The source is upstream. A broken pipe? Thought, I don't know, that was just a river, but I suppose anything's possible. Oh-ho! What are you two? A man and his son, for some reason. Right, so we've got this stuff over here. No boat in the boathouse today. This section of the coast hasn't been used in decades, so probably no boat tomorrow or any day. Hello? +1 savoir-faire and -1 visual calculus. So my inventory is getting quite full. Yeah, luckily it doesn't appear to be limited, which is quite handy. Right, so we can return the grouse to... what's his name? Gart. Sure will be happy. The boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might bowl it over. Well, I would think there'd be plenty of strong breezes here. I will take all this, thank you. We got the opportunity in the last episode to... Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench covered in rust. Anyway, to get free lodging instead of the whirling in rags, I decided not to take it for now. Didn't look like the option disappeared.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Something's definitely gone down here.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual, even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense. Grim affairs. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
Why not? Because it's a weapon of war?
The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world.
Alright, so we've got enough clothes now that we can actually change our outfit. So visual calculus +2 from our glasses and our jacket. Really? Okay. Anything else gives me visual calculus? Bear with me, everyone. Bear with me. No. That just removes visual calculus. Well, let's see.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the... Unable to piece together the big picture just now. There's a hole in their hypothesis.
Fine, okay.
The scattering of bullet holes...
Yeah, very cute. Alright, so what next? The sign says Entrée interdite. An old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. People paid money to park here. No one would pay now. Sure. I don't think any time is passing. More plastic tear, handy. Ooh, just straight money. I wonder if there's a limit to the amount of tear we can carry. What are you? Fallen Peepo Peepo. No, seriously, what are you? It's a hat. Gotcha. Ultimate peak focus. Eyes on the road. Right. Oh well. The door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. Really? Alright, we gotta go the long way around, huh? Well, let's see if there's anything else we can observe while we're here. Right, we can't go through here. Or at least it doesn't appear that we can go through there. Oh, can we not go over here either? Looks like the answer is no. Oh, what, really? Yeah, more stuff. Might as well pick it up. More money. Hell yeah, might as well make rent. Oh, it's the cryptozoologist's husband, I think. Sure looks like him. Tiny cage is carefully constructed, especially because he's amongst the reeds. We all know what that is. These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. They still won't light up. And here's a cryptozoologist's friend, Gary, I think his name was. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes crumbling. How about you? I'm making money by clicking these, by the way.
That patch of reeds over there, it's a great
A
place
boy
to hide something. Kind of
Bobs
out
in
of
the water.
way.
The number on it says
So
11.
close to the water.
Sorry, I don't like to talk over the voice acting, but that one's gonna just disappear. Wait, I can't see anything interesting.
You don't have a reason to. Yet.
What's this about exactly?
Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go.
You say that. Alright, your wife is worried about you. Friend. It's almost impossible to get a fire going near this ocean. Doesn't look like I gain money by those thought bubbles I have. Hey, more money. So, what's your deal?
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this gem.
Oh god, he's Australian.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Why is he a cryptofascist?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
I thought she trusted Gary with her life. You shouldn't trust Gary with the life of a single ant. You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of
Nice.
course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Oh yeah, that was me. I broke the lock with my motor carriage. Oh, but it's fixed now. You can go back.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage. There was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
No, it was all me. I caused your delay and I'm sorry. But you can return now.
Did he say we can go back now?
Oh, it's gotten bright all of a sudden.
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Okay.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind.
For all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
What a great idea. Sorry, Kim. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sort of specialized techniques is a phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defenses that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex.
Yeah, sure, that's gotta be it.
but I cannot describe how these defenses work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
How big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to us, right. Why are you so interested in the stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colorful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defenses, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says, brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lena said that there has been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
God, imagine if this thing is real. Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
I thought that was pretty much only lizards. Maybe some bugs. So the game is probably going to explain this, but parthenogenesis is when a female of the species just literally uses her own DNA to reproduce and make a new offspring. See, I know, but the encyclopedia check failed.
Yes, the females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
Females reproducing without males? A travesty, a crime against passion and common sense.
Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate.
Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Weird. Lena designed the traps?
Yes,
He says, with some pride. How do the traps work?
simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out.
I think you're being too clever by two halves.
At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait? Didn't you just say locusts?
Locusts.
Yeah.
Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
Wait. So, just based on a hypothesis, you're using insects even though phasmids are herbivores? But that doesn't make any sense.
A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Yeah. Thank you, logic. A carnivorous stick insect? That seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Not a big fan of skepticism, this one.
I wonder why. What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
Alright, I admit, this makes slightly more sense than I was initially thinking.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Well, yeah, Lena's a Georgia peach. Let me ask you about something else.
Yes. What?
How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real? I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do, like cryptofascism.
My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
And has anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid. Although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
That's... Alright. What kind of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
So you've never discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes.
So negative 2,000 is the answer.
2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only true have proven to be real? I'm curious to hear about this too.
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere.
So it was just a salamander, and for some reason I got lumped in with cryptozoology.
We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
Then the Insulindian phasmid will be the third.
Indeed. If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
Dushantu?
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Yes?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south, where Lena would be.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
What is with the background behind this guy?
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
You sound like a Muppet, too. I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting. On record. One of only 4 this century. And it's hers.
Really? She sighted the phasmid. She didn't tell me that.
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell. Not mine.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
Indeed I must.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Another cough into his fist this time. Uh-oh. Is it going to be blood showing up on the handkerchief? Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check on the traps later?
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the Phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
Wait, how's it supposed to starve if the whole way it's trapped is because it ate its fill? Whatever, man.
He's dead set on this.
Yeah, I can tell.
I could go for some trap setting.
Interesting. What if we... Let's talk about specific cryptids.
Alright. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it. You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena, or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
Which cryptid did you almost catch? You said before that you almost caught one.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialist would find rather dull.
What are willow people?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
He says it in a self-explanatory, everyday manner. Right. Evolved from trees.
They're very, very thin. Almost flat, in fact. And can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the Phasmid we're looking for here.
Wait, so I may have seen these willow people without knowing it?
You probably have.
Well, how'd you almost catch a willow person?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paints. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself.
Well, it is a creative method, I'll give you that.
After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove.
And then?
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone than to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
I'm sure you are. And Lena's sighting of the Phasmid, is that?
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
Okay, I know the biggest cryptid, the giant of Coconur.
That's impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes?
Have you seen it?
I haven't had a chance to travel to Coconur. No. And I likely never will. The Samaskill desert region has been embroiled in a small civil war for the last 8 years. I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constant.
Yes. Sightings of mirages are constant. A mirage is a constant phenomenon that people have no time to report when a war is going on.
Fair enough, logic.
It remains unclear what this has got to do with you seeing it, as he was inquiring before. He was just being defensive.
Alright, enough tales.
By all means.
What if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Well, cryptozoology and detective work are very similar.
Yes, indeed. Both require a great deal of research, attention to detail, and, above all, persistence.
So where are these traps, as if I don't already know?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church.
Seems like there's a lot to explore here.
The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them, You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
That seems like a lot. Do we really have time for this extracurricular venture?
Oh, come on, Kim, aren't you having fun?
Even relative to examining a weak old corpse, I'm not sure mucking about in the reeds qualifies as fun. But have it your way, detective.
If you think it's important, you have been right before.
So what do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild? Boy, it got snowy all of a sudden.
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
A white spray can?
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
No, I'm good.
Your choice. As I said, the chances of you encountering the phasmid are next to zero.
But you feel you should have it on you. Something bad might happen. Don't mess around. Take the pheromone. It'll make you sexier.
You know what? I've changed my mind. Spray me with lots of pheromone. He douses you with the odd-spelling spray, a double helping as you present your other armpit, and then gives you a satisfied nod.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Oh, we do plenty of self-financing in the RCM. He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back in his pocket. I'm ready, let's get to it.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the boiling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
I was almost hoping that we wouldn't get the chance to talk to Gary, the cryptofascist, but I guess we really lucked out. So, what's this?
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota.
What is my lower intestine going on about?
Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and circulatory system.
Okay, but what's the hard stuff?
Fascism, Brota.
Okay, stomach, I've made up my mind about the fascism.
You're going to keep your vooz, right? Keep your vooz, Brota.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to be plagued by an upset stomach.
There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestines, knocking on your alcohol-engorged liver. It is one of betrayal and disappointment.
Boo-hoo. Hyundel. And the little guy gets smaller and smaller as he rises above the dollhouse world. You see him out in the snow. I think this was from a while ago. On the streets, in the shop on the corner, and finally in a matchbox house. Sitting by the window, white flowers on the windowsill. You can smell them from up here. It's awful. A white morning, a modern death. Divorce, or something similar. All you can do is put more distance between you and him. Make him smaller. Make him less you. Wait, really? Huh. That's kind of cool, actually. Anyway. There's Mazovian... economics. Socioeconomics. Right. Well, I think I've got plenty of skill points. Yeah, I absolutely do. So we've got to inspect all the traps. Let's keep unlocking these thoughts. Might as well. Right. Well, I've been putting it off for long enough. Let's talk to Gary. Oh, I'm sure they are scared of your truth.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer.
God, you really do sound like a Muppet.
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Shut the hell up, Gary.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Sadly, I think I might be a drunk. Or a degenerate. Maybe even both.
Dark times will do that to good men.
He nods gravely, then shifts his gaze to the pile of soggy logs at his feet.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
Oh, it might be his mug. Do you know anything about the man hanged behind the whirling in rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
Is this... I'm gonna say, are you a cryptozoologist?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
Is this your mug?
My mug? Why would you think that?
You said yellow man. That's not something many people go around saying.
Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone.
Still seems suspicious. Did I mention the... Okay, I believe you. It looks like... You look like the kind of man who knows it's a crime to lie to an officer.
Okay. I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
Interesting. So this guy... Maybe he has the ability to unlock the dumpster.
You're not going to find me, are you?
20 Royale, pay up.
Okay, I deserve that. And I won't do it again. You have my word.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about bleeding a fascist dry.
I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, I've been having trouble at work lately. The Quakos are price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
How did you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Huh. I thought this was going to be a mostly useless conversation, but we've discovered a few things so far. One, I'm almost certain that this guy's... Wait, no, that can't be true. Is that guy living in the apartment down there? But he's only staying here temporarily, so why would he have an apartment? Anyway, point is, he has access to the trash, so that's actually relevant to the investigation. Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Yeah, you're really disgracing yourself by tossing a mug in the dumpster and not with your whole ideology.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling in rags, into that trash container? Did you get 30,000 viruses? Or no, it was 300,000 viruses. Homestar Runner references. Probably, too old for the youth of today.
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Oh, do explain.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Yes, what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags, because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
The lieutenant marks drolly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
What's that strange sound?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really?
He fans his arms out slowly, and this time his motions are soundless.
There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Right. You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
What sound? I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird
Okay,
I hope
fine.
I could help your investigation. In my small way.
He's visibly relieved it's over.
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
That would be quite interesting. You were surprised to see my lieutenant, or my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
The lieutenant is a native of Revachol.
Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay? Not many Sealites. No problem at all.
Sure. So, Gary, you live nearby, in an apartment in Martinez?
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
You're big man from Hjelmdal fan?
How?
I saw that ridiculous poster in your apartment, along with all your other colonialist memorabilia.
But why were you in my apartment,
Mr.
officer?
Mr. Everard Clare asked me to get your door open. Figured I'd take a look around while I was at it.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but he doesn't like you.
I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night. About some theories. Stupid. Shouldn't have run my mouth loud like that. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. It cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming.
Nice.
He may even have changed his mind about the whole door opening operation.
Thank you for your cooperation. Right, let's change clothes here. Wait, there's a check. Let's try to figure out exactly what the check is. Yeah, okay. God, I really wish it was easier to browse through these. Composure, right. Okay, so what helps composure? Nothing I'm wearing now. Snakeskin shoes, huh? Anything else? No, guess not. Alright, let's chat.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law.
I'm sure it is.
I mean, officers.
Yeah.
That shirt
Beautiful.
looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Like armor worn underneath it?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles. stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth. This shame is surprisingly sincere.
God, you have shame about all the wrong things.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
The lieutenant's tone is icy. Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here.
Oh, okay, so he was just a foreigner.
Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
He shakes his head.
It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Interesting. So now he's feeling shame for the right things. Give me that armor.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully.
Beautiful.
A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
So I can really put that on. Why did you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But...
God, he would be very pitiable if it wasn't for the fact that he was a cryptofascist.
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
Do you know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around
Anymore?
saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
I see. So he was going around telling people that the Union killed him, and that's why Everard Clare wanted to unlock his door.
This is all he knows.
We done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
Thank you for your cervix. Alright, that went quite well. So let's take a look at the stats on this bad boy. So what is it? It's a shirt. Wow, okay. +1 pain threshold, +1 volition, -1 empathy, huh? We'll keep this around for now. Anywho, yeah. On to the next thing, I guess. But where is the next thing? Well, I do wonder if there's a way to get up here. Oh, wait, there's a way to get up here. 50 years ago, this place was the heart of innovation. Not anymore, kids. Right, so before I talk to that guy... yeah, so we've done a few things over there, that's fine. Bars cover these long, dusty windows. So they do. Alright, before I get involved in a new hour-long conversation... Another power box. It charges nothing now. It's empty. A fence blocks the path. No way on from here. For now. Ooh. I'll take it. Ooh, whoa. I'll take $5 for sure. And $1.20. Not bad. There's a ladder up here. It appears broken at the top, though, so we can't use it because we're cowards. Alright, what's here?
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D.
Turn away. Maybe we might be able to do more with it after we talk.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Khan Hailostam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Okay, so a couple of things here. First off, it seems like this man's from fake Scandinavia or something, kind of like Kuno S is. But more importantly, how did he know who Kim Kitsuragi was? Kim Kitsuragi hasn't been going around wreaking havoc for a few days.
Nice to meet you.
Hold on, hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
They had monitors 49 years ago? We didn't have monitors 49 years ago. Well, actually, I don't want to think about how long 49 years ago really was. 50 years ago was, what, 72? Well, they certainly didn't have sophisticated monitors. You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
Of course. He rests his hands on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his Worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
Seriously, how do you know Kim?
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes to shield himself from the freezing snow. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on. What's R&D?
Yeah, it's research and development. What's an R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore.
He smiles brightly, laugh lines around his eyes.
You're probably more familiar with RTD,
Ah,
Research and Technological Development.
right.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that either. This man is a bookhead.
Let's look at the building looming over us.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't think I've ever heard of these steamed hams.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bringing them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. So, what happened?
Indeed. What?
I'm starting not to like this guy.
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
Pleasure wheeled?
A pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel, lighting up the coast.
So, is it like a Ferris wheel?
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
Okay, I get it. What did the revolutionaries do with these advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lint. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
Oh yeah, God forbid a kid be more interested in video games than freaking memorizing texts from 50 years ago. Anyway, how did these tape computers... I'm getting tired of this guy already. How did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
So is this guy actually not from fake Scandinavia, but from fake, Netherlands, Amsterdam? Wompty Dumpty Dum. Wompty Dumpty Dum. Sounds like the kind of nonsense that Dutch is.
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum?
He most certainly did, reaction speed.
He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juice?
Honestly, all fantastic questions. Okay, the Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, Paul Okerman, Keith and Guy Just, what are you talking about?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
You're making this up. Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center
Got me a
is
thought.
a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
He clears his throat.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
That sounds very far-fetched. The RCM should get some of those.
Even one would be very useful. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to the precious device. So they did. The Feld playback experiment vanished into the fires of 07.
Wait, the Feld playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind.
But of course, what else?
You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He brushes it off like it's not a thing at all.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling.
Could I have some of that unimportant money then?
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms.
He looks uncomfortable, his left hand squeezing his son's shoulder. Do I have enough to make rent? Not yet. Once I visit the Terror Machine, I should, though.
I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
By the way, do you work out?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
Lomantang. I remember someone talking about that. I think it was Lena? What's Lomantang stick fighting?
It's an anthropological heritage of the Lomantang people. A martial art of sorts, but what not a lot of books mention is that it also carries a cultural significance among the Lomantangs, as it used to be the best means of showing off to look for a bride, which, interestingly enough, brings us to the socio-economic structure
Oh
of
my
the
god, I'm falling
traditional
asleep.
tribes of the Lomantang Isles, which...
He goes on to give you a detailed overview of their way of life, the amiable, slightly nervous smile not once leaving his face.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying...
I'm not really interested in practice. I just want to know how often you work out. Now and then. That's like, what, once a week?
Lomantang stick fighting is a little like a Berolidin addiction. I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say that my doses have grown a little peculiar.
Wait, what does this man know about Pyrrolidon addiction?
Hold on. Pyrrolidon addiction? What an interesting metaphor. Or perhaps not a metaphor at all?
You got me, detective. But my history should hardly come as a surprise.
Here's a former junkie. I can recognize one when I see it.
Huh. Maybe he was part of the, pile cleanup?
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that and a special costume.
Oh, he's a vigilante.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. Helps to clear my head. But anyway.
He says, swaying with his hand. Interesting. Thanks for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
So wait, why did he know Kim? I feel like there's a lot of stuff I didn't get out of that conversation that I was trying to. I got all the boring stuff.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
Let's try to see inside.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside?
No. I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
I'm sorry to hear it.
This partner of his, Eyes, things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small talk.
Can you still shoot, though?
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
Interesting. Right, let's take a look at this mural again.
You see,
Alright, nothing there. I feel like I missed some... I'll try to... Hold on. Humpty Dumpty Dom Center. Strange. Anyway, let's try to find out more stuff from this guy.
Hello again. Sure, what's on your mind? But of course, I do some Lomantang stick fight. Lomantang stick fighting is a little like Berolidin
So what's
addiction.
it, twice a week
I've
then?
been
Every other
practicing
day?
for nearly 20 years
Man, is
now,
it
so
difficult
you
to
could
stay on
say
the right
that my
topic
doses
with
have
you.
grown.
Dad's fighting with sticks.
Okay.
That's right, Mikhail.
So, all the mysteries I wanted to know about, we don't get to find out about. Not today. Oh? What's all this then? Can't go up there. Not yet. Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome, but why? Ooh, okay. Oh, whoa. We're not just gonna pass up 32 cents here. Come on, let's be reasonable. A coin-operated weighing machine hasn't been used for a decade. Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. Could this be Union vagrants? Mega Bino's prescription lenses. Mega Bino. Kim, would these glasses work better for you? Another postcard. I'm wondering what the deal is with all these postcards is. I seem to be getting a fair few of them. Alright, more money. Might be able to pay off our rent without even visiting the tear machine.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
Someone, huh? Let's touch it.
The cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft crunching sound as you thrust your finger into it.
Let's take a closer look.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
Might be a clue.
A clue? You think our suspect is a seagull who's been defecating on unsuspecting jackets?
It might have been multiple seagulls. Come on, Kim.
You should still take it.
Well, sure. Might as well inspect it. This filthy rag has been at the mercy of the elements for quite some time. It's streaked with seagull shit and abnormally stiff from God knows what natural processes. You can't even tell what brand it is.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
Man, how did this jacket get so disgusting?
It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it?
Let's think about it.
It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it.
Gross.
Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck.
Ew.
Now you're just flicking that shit everywhere. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out.
Come on, there's gotta be more of this.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
Why did I fondle the shit jacket again?
There is no why.
No why, huh? Perhaps it'll become important later. Wait, is this the church? Okay. If you say so. Right. A big wine caster. It's open and empty. Who are you? Oh, wait.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Oh, that is awful.
It doesn't help. You can still smell it.
What is it?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly
Wait,
cloying
is that guy
smell.
dead?
Only death smells like that.
Uh-oh.
Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear.
Uh-oh.
It is death. It must be.
Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not right here.
The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose.
Okay, there are two thought bubbles there, but I guess one has disappeared.
There's some tear. An empty cigarette packet.
Alright, first let's hit up that thing. This coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years. Stop messing with the coin viewer or hold on to something. The wind is so strong. Alright, this murder case might have just gotten a little more complicated. Actually, quick save. Why can I not...
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet.
Hold on.
The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. Two bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life.
Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer.
He stands up
We
and
need to
shivers.
investigate.
Sounds good.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe.
Man, okay, so I was not expecting another corpse to show up. Alright, let's study the man's... Interesting. So, So we didn't have anything to do with the first body, but we could have, in theory, had something to do with this body, because we were here when the guy died a couple days ago. Actually, a couple days ago, we were just walking around with Kim. I don't know. Let's study the man's clothes.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest.
Tasty. Let's search his pockets.
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Library card, huh?
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
Let's study the man himself.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark.
That's possible. Could have been foul play, but also just an accident.
His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. Overcome with the awful surprise of it all.
Let's study the surroundings.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist.
Alright, it's looking less like foul play. Let's examine the man's head.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
It's hard to say.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
Let's step on the floorboards.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him.
That's interesting. Let's examine the bottle.
A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside.
Tear all around us.
He looks at two other bottles near the coin-operated viewer, then at your yellow plastic bag.
I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
Alright.
True. It feels disrespectful.
Let's examine, just because we can already make rent, let's examine the chewing gum wrapper.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall.
Let's look in.
The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too?
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
In a ditch off a road below the 881, he thinks. A young father. Then he shakes his head to make the memory stop.
Alright, let's step
The
back.
entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Who is this man?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
He looks south, the way you came.
But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
This is an omen. A sign from above. Don't start drinking again.
Yeah, take that omen, buddy. He looks like me. I could have ended up just like him, dead on some empty boardwalk with a bottle next to my corpse.
Well, at least you're not married.
Yeah, not anymore. Thanks for opening up the old wounds, Kim. The lieutenant points at the ring on the man's left hand. The flesh around is swollen and gray. Wait, are you coming on to me, Kim?
Or, what if you are?
But let's try to not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
Okay, so his wife is probably looking for him. Wait a second. I'm thinking of the woman at the bookstore. She was missing her husband, kind of. That's a bit of a grim thought. What do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Could be related to the lynching.
No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now.
Do you think he was drunk?
Oh yes.
What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure?
Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
Well, what about the kebab?
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the box.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Alright, Freud. Someone should be held responsible. Well, who, man?
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean.
Yeah, I'm sure they're really clean.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
What should we do with them?
From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
Hold on, what about field autopsy?
A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work.
Yes, but isn't that kind of sloppy?
Maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare. The guys at processing will take care of the rest.
We found him. We should finish this.
Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we're taking the case.
Yeah, that's a good idea. For a lot of reasons. Because we need to get in touch with Alice about the other dead man. Right. So let's interact with the library card. A library card found from a pocket of the dead man on the Martinez boardwalk. It's still slightly damp to the touch. The cover bears the stamp of Jamrock Public Library.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53.
Billy Mejean.
Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member.
Let's look inside.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned.
An avid reader like the woman outside the bookstore.
Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too.
Let's look at the backside.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours, 900 to 1800.
Jamrock, huh? What's he doing all the way out here?
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mejean.
Sounds good. So, plenty of other stuff to do. Dead body in the boardwalk.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Let's examine the tear.
2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find.
A tragedy.
The lieutenant looks in the can, eyes watering from the smell.
He shakes his head with genuine sadness.
Let's examine the cigarette package.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra.
Let's examine the kebab wrapper.
You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol.
Man, now I'm getting hungry for kebab.
It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet.
Alright, anything else we can do with this guy?
A man lies on the boardwalk.
Nothing yet. So, we won't collect the tear. Oh, wait. Careful there. These floorboards look rotten and weak. You don't say. Moonshine, probably. Tastes like... or smells like tasty fermentation. Oh, I'm sure it does, friend. I'm sure it does. So where were these traps that the guy set up? Inspect the traps. Land's End. Cryptozoologist. Boathouses. Canal. I don't know if there's one near here. Could be, could not be. I'm wondering if I should fast travel, essentially. Oh wait, there's something here that I didn't get the chance to examine.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
Well, let's pick it up.
You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
Why would I dial a random number? Sounds like it might be kind of funny, not gonna lie. A dead phone, a smashed receiver, like someone hung up too hard. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. The sign reads St. Brune, 1147. This must be the church. Dusty pews in the shadows. Many seem to be missing. An altar shrouded in dark, or something like that. It's too dark to tell. By the way, we've officially made rent, so huzzah. Looks like we can go over there, so why not try to? Oh, there's change which I missed. Wait, what is this? Painted with pastels. Someone is trying to bring cheer into the world. Must have taken a lot of patience to do this. It is cold outside. Trash from some unending party. A pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. More tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids. What are you?
A pane of eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up.
Eternite?
Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
What is this?
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be convenient.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Beautiful.
We should ask that girl on the ice what's going on here.
The lieutenant gestures towards the young woman next to the tent. Well, it certainly made things easier to get around. Sorry if you were keeping the bridge up for some unknowable reason. Wait. This is someone's home away from home, just like yours. Alright, so what's the deal?
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh. Hello there.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be freezing.
Dear child, it's freezing. Where's your hat?
Huh?
I said you should have a hat on.
So should you.
I do have a hat on. Oh, I should, and I do.
Oh. I didn't notice that.
It's nice. You should wear one too if you plan on staying outside in this weather.
Yeah, well... Look, man, fuck the hat.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
Is that kind of language really necessary?
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating on something else. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me.
There's a pained expression on her face. She'll answer your questions now. What's your name?
Estelle.
And your surname?
Why?
I'm from the police. It's for paperwork.
Okay, it's Berger.
Alright, so she's probably not related to Billy.
A very common name. You have little reason to doubt that's her real name. But she's not all that surprised by this cop show questioning, is she?
So it may not be a real name. What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
What's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike.
Cute. Yeah, any news on my wife's name? How about my mother? Encyclopedia.
No,
Wow.
you're welcome.
How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
I don't. Where'd you get the mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from, the Palaceum.
What's the Palaceum?
Oh man, you haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Ah, Arno van Eyck.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Sounds like a place for congregating homosexuals. Sounds interesting. Who's this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
On second thought, let's go back to the contact mic.
Yes?
Never mind.
Okay.
What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what is it that you're recording exactly? Could it be you're recording a Let's Play for your hot new YouTube channel?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
Wait, what happened to the headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
Preach.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
With 4 S's. Well, 5. 6, if you count all the freaking S's in the word. And what are these recordings for? The cracks, the footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
Alright, so it's the Blue Man Group.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours with joy and escape. It's turning out to be an empty fantasy. She feels childish. Very useless all of a sudden.
Sorry, kid.
Take this, your call.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
Oh, that's okay.
It's okay.
He throws me a glance. He said it's supposed to be a music place. What is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
The boys?
Yeah. Andre and the guys, they're inside, in the tent.
Oh, God.
And why is that?
Why are you freezing out here while the boys are inside?
They got too much stuff crammed in there. No room.
Stuff like what?
Music stuff, mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles of it.
You mean like those headphones your boyfriend sold?
Yep. They were pretty. I'm sorry we sold those.
Why not just leave some of it outside so you don't have to freeze?
That stuff is more expensive than I am.
Ugh.
More expensive than any of us, really. Doesn't matter. I can take the cold.
Now this is where a hat would come in handy.
Yeah, maybe you were right about the hat.
I don't want to give up my fedora. I had some other questions.
Go ahead.
Ooh, I'm pretty good with the empathy, but it's a legendary check. Tell me more about this music place you've been planning in the church.
It's supposed to become, like, a club for Nordic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek. Some of this stuff is really a tongue twister. What is Anodic dance music?
You know, Anodic, methodic.
That was a
music
task?
that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
You see clear, beautiful, violent flashes of light. Light cutting through a smoke-filled darkness. That is what the future will look like. If it ever comes.
So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, you two are cops.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, well... maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys. Because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
I'll talk to them.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
Alright, enough about the church. I had another question.
Go ahead.
You seem surprisingly comfortable with being questioned. Why is that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Have you been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revachol experience they get east of the river.
What's east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
Let me guess, these rich people are not from around here.
Aren't they? I thought they were as Vachalaire as any of us. Just way richer.
Oh, they're foreign bodies, agents of international capital. You only need to look close enough. I didn't know where this was going.
Maybe you're right. Most of them do speak 3 languages.
That's probably a fascist option. Whatever. So what trouble you've gotten into with the police?
The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager.
Alright, what's the usual?
You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13. In Forberg.
Wait, what is in Faubourg?
Is this a rhetorical question?
No, I literally can't remember even the most basic terms sometimes.
Faubourg, not in Faubourg. It's a massive banlieue south of Jamrock Quarter. It is the largest ghetto in Revachol, possibly the world.
And why'd you have to move out when you were so young?
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
Drinking, partying, and disco music are bad for you. You should take me as a warning example.
She nods very cautiously.
Very cautiously. Alright, we got some time left in the episode. Let's try this empathy check.
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. Underneath you see a reel of tape rolling. You put the device back on the ice.
That's it for now.
Okay, bye.
She turns her attention back to the recording device. Maybe I should have changed my clothes first, but I've got plenty of skill points. God, I've got 7. Interesting. Well, that's pretty much everything I've got for this episode. God, there's just so much to bloody do in this game, isn't there? It's been so many hours, and it's only, what, like the 3rd day or something? I don't know. I mean, I do know that it's the 3rd day, but I have no idea how much longer this game's gonna take. And we just found a new dead body. Not that I'm minding so much, but my god. Things move kind of slowly, if I'm being quite honest. Oh god, her teeth are clattering. Maybe I should give her a hat. Not my fedora, but a hat. Well, either way, that's going to be it for this episode today. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. This is World Undone. Take care, and I will see you next time.